Welcome to Mallow. Sorry for the slight delay. The lights only came on in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and now the players are out there and they're just wandering into their positions. I think we'll be starting in a couple of minutes here with the Electric Ireland 2024 Freshers 1 Hurling League Final. UL against UCC. UL are in the white and they have already lined out, and behind the two midfielders there, well, I say midfielder, it's actually tag body number 10 of UL who's gone to midfield, the referee Nicky Barry from Waterford. UCC haven't won this since 2016, so these boys in the huddle are trying to bring the college back to former glory times, because they had a great time around 2010 to 2014. They won it 3 times, not since 2016 when Dara Fitzgibbon was the captain, but they are out now to make amends for lost time. UL took over in those intervening years and have won the last 3, so going for 4. They've been on the last 5 finals, make that 6 now, and they beat UCC here in 2015 in Mallow. And we are going to start right away. I will give you the teams as we go on, but they are just about to start, so we will stay with that little bit of argy-bargy there. Big number 8 is Jimmy Moylan for UL, and they get possession first in this game, playing from right to left in Mallow in a very cold night. Not as freezing as it was in Clonard when they won the league 2 years ago. I don't think anything will ever be as cold as that night. So a nice night for hurling. There's no wind and the pitch is in good nick, and these are fantastic young players. This is Alex Cass, and it's cleared down the right hand side for UCC, but is it going to stay in? Yeah, it is indeed, and that is Owen McMahon trying to clear his lines. I was about to say clear his lines, and then he drops the slither, but UCC, can they turn it over? Can they get it in there? You hear the clash of the ash. There's not a big crowd in here just yet for this game, but yes, UL now will be able to clear with Jimmy Moylan, who I've mentioned already. He's from Cradlow, and a free for them well inside their own half. I have Liam Weir with me, and Liam, you're very welcome. We weren't able to bring you in. In fact, I'm not going to be able to bring you in now either, because they've got the game going again. Harry Boyle, number 2 there for UCC, goes short, and then a heavy hit comes in, but it's too heavy and it's going to be a free out. But Liam, yes, you have to be quick here, but you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. But it's the condition of the pitch we're talking about coming into the 1st of December. The pitch is in great condition, but it still will be heavy. They'll have difficulty, I think, handling and picking the schlitter today, particularly because their hands are going to be so cold on the hurleys.
Yeah, I was out there myself walking it, and it's soft, yeah, as you would expect, but not terrible. I mean, last year they played this game in UCC or UL in Maguire's Field, and the rain that night was terrible, but they still put on an exhibition, because these lads are unbelievable players. This is the cream, Liam. These guys, some of them are playing club senior for a number of years. They're county minor captains. They've played Hardy Cup, Croke Cup. I mean, this is the cream.
Yes, indeed. And what you are getting, because the inter-county grades have dropped a year to under 20 and under 17, what you're getting in the freshers are the pick of both grades.
Absolutely.
Probably the purest hurling grade of all.
Yeah, it's been described as the best competition in the GAA at fresher level. I mean, you can understand why, yeah?
Yes, indeed, yeah. A bit of pulling in the air there, and a bit of a chop across the hurley, giving the boys some Cork a chance to go ahead.
But he's gone very low.
He's got it in the back of the net.
No way. How did he do that? Everyone was expecting it to go over the bar. I was, and I think the goalkeeper and the defenders were as well. But Ross O'Sullivan, watch it again here, Liam. We'll see what he does. Did he mean to go for this, do you think?
I have my doubts. I think it just didn't come up, but it was.
Wow.
I think maybe he caught Daniel O'Connell unawares as well inside in the UL goal.
Yeah, and he's the only Cork man for UL. He's been caught out. And Ross O'Sullivan, by the way, from Napirsig, his dad Tony, the 1990 Hurler of the Year, so comes from good stock. So maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think we will.
Wow.
Great start for Cork. Great start for Cork.
Absolutely. You sound a little bit one-sided there, Liam, I have to say, but we'll let you have that.
I'm going to be totally neutral.
Now, UL, what can they do about that? That was unexpected.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's an awful lot of these UCC boys are on various under 20 panels and development squads in Cork for the last few years. I was talking to a few guys about them today and said that they should have a very good pick and will give a good account of themselves.
Well, they've had a perfect start with a goal, and they might get a point now as well. And the roar went up there, and it has gone over. Trying to see his number, he's certainly wearing orange boots, so it's easy to spot that way. And it's Dara Fairland, I think, from Monaleen. I think it's one of the nearest clubs to UL where they're based. Same club as Dara Langan, who played in this final last year. A good score from the other Dara Fairland.
Yes, indeed. good score. The orange football boots are helping in identifying him for the rest of the evening.
And now, why do you specify their football boots? They're hurling boots as well, no?
I don't know, are they?
They come from soccer, I guess. That's what you're saying. They're like something you'd see in soccer. I know what you mean. But anyway,
we let it go at that.
He put the ball over very, very nicely, and it is the Freshers Hurling League final. And
4 points,
there
4
is
minutes.
the point. There's the point.
What
There's
a
the
score.
point. Yeah, it was a good
Great
score. Yeah,
score.
nice skill. I don't think he even looked, but didn't need to.
No. Well, any of the Cork guys would be used to playing in Mallow as well. That might be a slight advantage for them, but obviously there's no advantage to the Cork goalkeeper in the UL colours.
That's true. That's true. And he's from Dramina, near Newton Chandram.
Yeah.
And
Charleville.
by the way, Mallow is where this final was played for a number of years, in 2011, 2014, 2015. And I remember a final here actually when UL won it, and the captain was a certain Declan Hannon. I don't know what happened to him.
I never heard of him after.
No, but he was the captain. He interviewed him after the game here. They won it. That must be 10 years ago at least.
I'd say it's probably more.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
But then again, Mallow is geographically the centre of Munster, and this is a Munster derby between the two big cities.
Exactly, yeah. And that's going to be, I thought it was a free for UCC, but it's gone the other way, and it's the man we were talking about who got the point, Furland, and it has gone the other way. A nice little tidbit of information, by the way. Alex Cass, number 10 for UCC, and we're talking about 10 years ago, in the 2014 All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final in Croke Park, he, as a young fella, carried the Liam McCarthy out onto the pitch. There was him and a girl from Tipperary, and the two of them carried, you know the way sometimes they take it off a plinth and carry it out onto the pitch? That's what he did 10 years ago, and here he is now playing for UCC.
Isn't that wonderful?
And he's from Thomastown in Kilkenny, if you're wondering why he was doing that.
Yes, this was the second
And
wide, I
that
think.
is going to the right. Yeah, UL just haven't really started yet.
That's 2 from place balls now, gone the wrong side of the post for them, and it would be no harm with nearly 6 minutes gone if they could get a point to settle into the game.
Maybe you were talking about the venue, maybe they're not quite as used to it. I mean, that was quite a bit out of range there. It didn't even go over near the crossbar. It was tamely wide.
And you can't blame wind because there isn't a puff of wind this evening. Cold, yes, but no wind.
So 6 minutes into the game, and UCC on top, and on top again, that's Matt O'Riordan. He's actually their captain, but UL have got it back, and you see the slippery conditions there. And this now is John Wigington Barrett, number 13, ambling his way through to big Ed McDermott from Kilkenny. He's put it very high, but I think that's gone to the left, is it? No, I think they might give that one. Are they going to give it? They are going to give it. It was one of those ones that went so high it was hard to tell from this angle, but has been given, and that is 1-2. Ed McDermott, a giant from James Stephens, with a good point.
You mentioned Wigington Barrett there, great sporting pedigree, and that man as well plays with the Bars in Cork, but his granddad was the famous Wiggy, David Wigington.
I had that wee bit of tip bit of information. You've stolen it there, but I'll let you have that. But maybe, did you know him? Did you?
I did.
Yeah?
He had a chip shop in Blackrock.
Wow. And apparently he had great pace and skill. Let's get back to the play here, because UL might get their first score of the game. And they have. And it's the number 13, Jamie Ormond, the Tipperary minor captain from 2023 from JK Brackens and Tip, gets him on the scoreboard.
Yes, and they needed that. I mean, 7 minutes of play gone. This will settle them down now. And I always feel that the goals to our left are the scoring goals here in Mallow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In hurling or just in any sport?
In anything.
Does it matter? Yeah.
And for no particular reason. I don't know why.
So usually a breeze up here goes that way, no?
The breeze often across the field here.
Tell me about that chip shop then. I'm really intrigued by that.
He was one of a famous duo that came to Cork in the early 70s. David Wigington and Carol Davenport, Wiggy and the Dav.
Are those sort of English?
They
names?
were. They came over, yeah. And there was the heydays of the old Cork Hibernians, Cork Hibs and
Cork
Waterford.
Hibs, yeah. That was that who George Best played for, or was that Cork Celtic?
Celtic is who Best played for. Great score.
Good score indeed. Yeah. Sorry, we better get back to the game here. That was a lovely score. Who got that one? Was it?
I think it was Adam O'Sullivan from midfield.
There's 2 Adam O'Sullivans out there, by the way. That's Adam O'Sullivan, number 9 from Ballinhassig in Cork. But UL have their own Adam O'Sullivan at number 4 from John Locks in Kilkenny. 1-3 to 1 after 8 minutes, and there's still crowd coming into the stand here in Mallow. An early start at 6:30 for them, but they've missed some really nice hurling so far. I haven't had time to give the full teams, but I'll do that in a second if I can. We'll see where this one goes. Right over on the far side, and UL have got possession back, and they get it to Connor Gleeson, and he's one of 4 tip men. And the starting 15 for them. That was flicked on, I think, by Marty Murphy, and they might get through here for a goal. There's a man over. Jamie Ormond is waiting for it. He mightn't be needed, and that's gone too far, I think. Comes back across and somehow is deflected away from the goals, and that will go down as a missed opportunity by UL. They looked like having a 2-on-1 in there, but didn't capitalise. The ball across the goal, I think, was a little bit too strong. That one has gone through the legs of two players, and now Conor Gleeson will tidy up. It's certainly a golden opportunity there. This is Moylan from Cratloe. It does nicely just to get on his right side.
As you say, it was a bit too heavy, and when normally you love to see a fellow pulling the ball on the ground, he might have done better if he had picked it up and tapped it in, but chance gone.
They did get a point out of it in the end, but they trail by 6-2, 4 points in it. Now who's going to get this one? It's the number 4, I think. Tyke Sheehan is over there. He's from St Mary's and tip number 6. Cleared diagonally across the pitch, looking for Ed McDermott. He has taken it brilliantly, and he's right. Would you think was that maybe coming into the decision? Or was it early in the game?
But then again, there was nothing inside him.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, over the bar.
Over the bar, indeed, by Ross O'Sullivan. Yeah. In there as the target, but they have nice players around him as well, but they've caused UL a lot of problems. UL seem to be trying to work it through the hands of more of a slow build up and trying to take their scores from distance. They get it to Fintan Fitzgerald, and they get somebody inside the 45 now, and that is Tag Body, and it's going to be a free in.
But I think that centre field will be a very important area of this game. If Cork can get a grip there. They seem to have, with the likes of Wigington, Ed McDermott and Ross O'Sullivan, they have dangerous forwards inside there, whereas UL will be playing it slower through the hands, through the lines, and a night like...
I have some people on YouTube there in the chat are asking for the teams. We'll give them as soon as I can. I'll race through them now for you. I just don't want to miss any of the play, and it goes back into the play, so let's stick with that just for the second.
Nice turn.
Number 12 is Daniel Scully. Gives it inside to Adam O'Sullivan. Goes on to his left and he goes for it again, but I think he's put that to the left. So UL, Daniel O'Connell on goals, the only Cork man from Dramina. 2, John Cahill from Clooney, Quinn and Clare. 3, Sean Casey from Bruff. 4, Adam O'Sullivan from John Locks. 5, Owen McMahon from St Joseph's, Dura Bearfield and Clare. 6, Owen Ling, the captain for UL. 7, Conor Gleeson. 8, Jimmy Moylan from Cratloe. 9, Cahill English from Father Sheehy's. And 10, Tag Body from Bruff. 11, Fintan Fitzgerald from Mungret. 11, Diarmuid Stritch from Clonlara and Clare. 13, Jamie Ormond. 14, Marty Murphy. And 15, Dara McCarthy. That's the 15. And I'll give you the UCC version in a minute, but I just don't want to miss anything in the play here, and it is moving fast. This is Alex Cass, who I mentioned earlier.
Did well.
And he's got it out to Matt O'Riordan, his captain, and a little bit of room, and they have taken a few scores from distance, and there's another beauty.
Good score, Matt O'Riordan.
Get it again here, Liam.
Yes, indeed. Made the room. Cass made the room for him. Simple hand pass. Had that little inch of space that he needed and just snuck it inside the keeper, Daniel O'Connell's right-hand post.
Oh, hold on. UL have got in here. They have a man over and he's just going to take his point. He could have maybe had a run on goal, but he's just going to take his score. Yes. And that's an instant reply for UL, and it was from Jamie Ormond.
Jamie Ormond is very dangerous from that right corner forward position since the game started, but it was the perfect answer to UCC's point immediately before it.
Owen Ling, the captain of UL, clears his lines. Again, it's short rather than long. Now the long comes down into the corner. They're looking for Marty Murphy to go and get that one. And Marty does go and get that one, and he's time to get it at the second time of asking, and he's got round his man. Will he get through for a goal? He bats it down, and he's got it into the net. Great score by Marty Murphy. He won an All-Ireland Junior this year in January with Tullogher Ross Burkhan, and he's now got a goal here in his final. And once he got round his man, you knew there was danger on. He'd time to pick it up and put it in the net, and that's a good response, and they're right back into this game. Good individual goal.
Yeah, he won that ball individually, as you say. He won it in front of the fullback, in front of Billy O'Connell, and then carried it and knew that he was going to be hooked, and he did the overhead bat to put it into the net. There was no stopping that. Fionn O'Brien couldn't stop it, but wonderful play. And now Martin Murphy and Jamie Ormond are two very dangerous forwards in the full forward line so far for UL, who are back in it again, only a point behind.
Yeah, a goal and a point for UL, and they might get another one here, or has that one gone astray? It has been deflected, but only as far as Body. And now to English, brother of Dara. From Father Sheehy's tip minor 22 in 2023.
Get it in again to Martin Murphy.
And he's got two men around him, but he's got it, and he's actually got a free out of it as well. And all of a sudden, it would seem they're going to get 1-2 and they're going to level this.
Yes, indeed. We were talking about the other side of the field where Ed McDermott can win the ball independently, but so can Martin Murphy on the UL side. He has now contributed the goal and 2 frees where he's been fouled, and this is to tie it up halfway through the first half. UL will be happy.
UCC team, by the way, as this goes over the bar, I'm sure it does. Fionn O'Brien is the goalkeeper from Limerick. 2 is Harry Boyle from Clara Kilkenny. 3 Billy O'Connell from Abbeyside in Waterford. 4 is Timmy Kelly from Bennett's Bridge in Kilkenny. 5 Shane Murnance and Columns in Cork. 6 Tyke Sheehan, St Mary's in Tip. 7 Peter O'Shea from Erin's Own in Cork, same club as the captain, number 8 Matt O'Riordan. 9 is Adam O'Sullivan from Ballinhassig. I'm just pausing to look up to see what's happening here in case there's another score, because it's that kind of game. There's scores flying in all over the place, and that is Adam O'Sullivan getting in there, spinning, trying to take the ball and get away with it, but he doesn't. But instead, Dara Fairland, the number 11, does well and gets it out to Wigginton Barrett, and he nips inside. Oh, he has got the pace and nippy skills of his grandfather, and puts it inside the post as well. I think just outside the post.
Good run.
10 Alex Cass from Thomastown and Kilkenny. 11 Dara Fairland. 12 is Daniel Scully, and he is from Drummond Athlacca. 13 is Wigginton Barrett. 14 Ed McDermott. 15 Ross O'Sullivan. Those the teams for you, but keep commenting there if you like, and messaging on the YouTube there in the live chat, and we'll keep it.
Joseph's Dura Bearfield and a half back. Well, it tells you that he's not going to be missing too often.
And it's the lead. UL have come back from being 4 down, I think it was at one stage, maybe even 5. I think it was just 4. Brilliant catch in the middle of the field there, and it's for UL, and he's gone on looking for a reply tag body from Bruffin, Limerick, and he's put that one high, and if this goes over, it's all him. But it's just gone to the left, but it was a great catch.
I did reference earlier on that the side that would prevail at midfield would have the advantage, and UCC have gone out of it at midfield for a while, and maybe that is what has allowed UL come back into it again.
Oh, beautifully taken by Wigginton Barrett, and he held off the challenge. I think that's going to curl in. That's an absolute beauty. What a talent he is. He's from the bars in Cork, and he scored a great point, and he's causing all sorts of danger when they get it directly into him.
He had a great county final recently against the Glen as well in Cork, and well, form is staying with him. Oh, great catch in the air.
Alex Cass reaching into the sky here. This game has just gone up a notch, and a great pass as well to Adam O'Sullivan from Ballinhassig, and is that going inside? Of course it is. Oh, these boys are starting to turn on the tempo and the skill. We're starting to turn on the style.
Well, indeed, you mentioned Ross O'Sullivan and the Tony Sullivan collection. Adam O'Sullivan from Ballinhassig would be from a very strong hurling family as well. Be son of John O'Sullivan, a great stalwart for Ballinhassig down there in the Carbery division. Or is it? It is not. It's the southeast, Carrickdown. But Ballinhassig to the 4 for that score.
Now UL trying to get back at that. They now trail 1-7 to 1-6. They had the lead for a minute or two, and that's really the first we have seen of Darragh McCarthy, the number 15. He's known as a breakout star. He's been described as a generational talent from Tumavara, and that's really the first we've seen of him, Liam, winning that free.
Yes, indeed, yeah, but then having won the free, a bit of verbals from the UCC rear guard to the referee, Nicky Barry. He moves it into a central position, and I've no doubt that Jamie Ormond will stroke this over to tie the teams.
Indeed, level again. By the way, the breakdown, UL have 4 Clare men, 4 Tip, 3 Limerick, 3 Kilkenny and 1 Cork. That's their goalkeeper, Daniel O'Connell. UCC have 6 Cork, 4 Kilkenny, 3 Limerick, 1 Waterford and 1 Tip. Now, the puck out from Fionn O'Brien out into the middle. It spills, so it's a 50-50, and he just shoves his man out of the way there. Jamie Moylan says, we're having that. And this is Jermit Stritch, and he has put that high into the dark sky here, and it's just gone inside the post. That's a cracker.
That's a wonderful score. He was up well outside the 45-metre line on the sideline, off his left, judges it to perfection and gets it inside the post to put Limerick back ahead again. UL gone into the lead.
Near the sideline, he was nearly in the dressing rooms there, and he put it over. That was fantastic. UL starting to purr, and some of the players really starting to show their stuff now. The direct ball into the forwards again, looking for Marty Murphy or for McCarthy, but UCC's defence has done well. This time that's their fullback Billy O'Connell, the only Waterford man from Abbeyside, and they feed it out to the number 5 Shane Murnan now, and they're trying to build accurately, passing now to Fairland, I think that is, and he's recognisable by the orange boots. God love him for doing that. It's like wearing a helmet that's easily distinguishable. And the attack is broken down though, and UL just seem to have got to grips with the game more in the last 5 or 6 minutes. We're now in the 21st minute, but they made a poor enough start, but they've now got into the game, and there's a little bit of unhappiness there, Liam.
I think that ball was picked off the ground. The UCC mentors on the other side were afraid that the referee hadn't seen it, but they were encouraging him to blow the whistle, and he did. So now at 1-8 to 1-7, UL got into the lead again. It's swinging both ways depending on who's winning the ball from their own puckouts out in the middle of the field.
Well, UL seem to be winning most of UCC's puckouts.
They do indeed.
And that's where the pressure has come from, as you say, the last 10 minutes or so. But when it gets up into the forwards, both sets of forwards are pretty good, and when UCC get it up there, but their attacks have been sporadic the last 10 minutes.
They're probably lucky that they have scored a few good ones from distance as well. But if they can get it into Wigington, Barrett, Ed McDermott and Ross O'Sullivan and Piersig, they will be in this game.
Well, they're trying to get it into them now, but that's too strong, actually.
That's a poor
These colleges, by the way, met in the 2011 final here in Mallow. Willie Griffin was the hero. He scored 2-9. Is that a name, a blast from the past for you, Liam?
It is indeed, Willie Griffin, huh?
Yep, 2-9.
Great skill. Look at that. They're able to pass it from one to the other, and that hard pass is difficult to do on a cold night. As who was that? Dermot Stritch.
Yeah, he got that beauty a minute ago, but that was probably an easier one.
Much easier. But there were 2 passes before that. Great interplay, and then he meant to be able to hold on to the sliotar on an evening that's as cold as this, and it is cold. Is that a draw game again? I think it is.
That's a great effort from Fairland. Brilliant effort from Furland, and it's 1-8 to 1-8.
Oh, super score.
As I roll back the years again, in 2014 UL were beaten by UCC here in Mallow as well, 4-15 to 4-11. The winning captain was Cathal Cormac from Blackrock.
Yep.
I'll reverse that in a minute and tell you about a UL win, but let's watch the play, because that's a brilliant catch and layoff as well, and this should be a point for Fintan Fitzgerald. He can't miss from there, and he doesn't. It was a lovely catch and layoff. I think it was Murphy, must have been Murphy.
It was, but Fintan did the biz for them when he got it down. It seemed to be hanging over to the left, but it snuck inside the post, so it's
here we're getting a sub already. 27 for UL's coming on. I can only think it must be an injury. 27 for UL is he's coming on for Conor Gleeson, you know. Is that Conor Gleeson coming on?
Ben O'Sullivan from Lismore.
Okay.
Yep. 27 for Conor.
Yeah, he's walking off Gleeson and doesn't look injured to me. So maybe it's a tactical thing. Maybe was he
the yellow card?
Was he the yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, right, and maybe was he on Fairland? Maybe, I'm not quite sure. Nice layoff here. Jimmy Moylan
great strike,
gets his effort away. It's not going to reach though. It's not going to reach. Easily taken by Fionn O'Brien in there. Fionn, by the way, was at Ardskull Reach and had some success there as well in Hardy Cups and Croke Cups.
Good ball in here.
It is, but that's a poor pass. He just went short there and put it over, and Jimmy Moylan has taken it and got possession. I did say I'd even it up. In 2015 here in Mallow, UL beat UCC. Their hero, Kilkenny's Alan Murphy, brother of Owen Murphy, Scruff, scored 1-14. That game went to extra time.
It did.
You remember that?
I do, even though I shouldn't because I'm so young. But no, certainly I think that that there has been a great history between the two of them, and they won't be lacking in spirit or drive from either side tonight either. UCC want to get back to where they were. There's no doubt that UL are top dogs. Within the last 10 years, really, I think they've been in 8 of the finals.
Let's just watch this going over before I respond to that from the goalkeeper.
Nope.
It's gone wide. Yeah, 2018 UL lost in the final. 2019 they lost. 2020 they won. 21, of course it wasn't played. 2022 they beat DCU, and last year they beat DCU. So yes, it's been very much UL have been the top dogs pretty much at this level for the last 10 years, and before that it was UCC. And UCC tonight trying to make a bit of a statement back, I would imagine, although for these young lads really that doesn't matter to them.
This match is the important one, but I see what UL are doing for the UCC puckouts. They're putting Tyg Body back behind the midfielders, and he's working there as an extra man. That's 2 wides in a row now for UL, but they only lead by 1.
And the puck out now has gone way over to the left-hand side. They're trying to stretch the play, and that's nicely taken. And a nice ball inside as well, but can they get a score from it? It's Adam O'Sullivan. And I don't think the way people are shaping up. No, it is. It is. It's gone over the bar. And I thought the umpire was going for a walk as if he was going to put both hands up, but it's gone over the bar.
And I thought that the goalkeeper looked up in disgust when he saw it going over.
Well, he looked up in disgust when the goal went in earlier, I'm sure. That woke him up.
Or he didn't look up, maybe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And this is Jamie Ormond taking on 2-3 men and got a shot away as well. And it's gone to the left and it's gone wide. It remains a draw game, and I can't believe we're 26 minutes gone already.
Yes, indeed. And if you thought that maybe I was slightly biased, I thought that Jamie Ormond deserved a free on that occasion. Referee let him go ahead. He seemed to be pulled back, and that's the third wide in a row now outside the post for UL.
And they have possession now through Owen Ling. And he does well to tidy up at the back, and now they're launching another attack over halfway, and he's gone for it. You know what? He's put it that really, really high, but is it on target? Well, that's stopped the rot. They now have a point after those wides, and they're back into the lead.
But that was, I think that was Diarmuid Stritch again, who's now switched over to the far side. But very tellingly, he was moving away from his man. He had time to give a glance backwards, spot that he wasn't going to be hooked, and put it over the bar from 65 metres. That
was a super score, and it started from the captain, Ling. This is Ed McDermott. He hasn't had much ball the last while, but when he gets it, he is dangerous. And remember, he could have been allowed through to get a goal, and wasn't. But he has stretched the defence there again. But it's actually going to be a free out the other way.
Yes, indeed. I thought it was harsh enough. He was getting in over it, but maybe the hurley was loose.
There's a high challenge there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of frustration having been in possession and then losing it, and now giving away the free as well as giving an autograph to Nicky Barry.
He's going to get a card, and it's not quite Christmas yet, but he's getting a card.
Yes, indeed. So at 110 to 1-9 as we approach half time, about 2.5 left. Both sides have enough to be satisfied with, and both sides have enough to worry them as we approach the interval.
Yeah, and we've had 2 goals and 19 points, which is good entertainment as well, as we always get at this particular game. Great skills, and from so many different counties as well. It's always great to see.
Yeah, the pity is that there's such a small crowd here, but I suppose you're playing a match midweek in the month of November. What do you expect?
And yeah, but there's a huge crowd online, if that helps. There's around 1,000 devices on this game already, so a lot of people at least are being able to see it, so their skills are being showcased for everybody to see.
Yes, indeed.
Nice connection, by the way, Liam. The management for UCC, Ray Delaney, Declan O'Sullivan, Jared Dinan and Paul O'Connor, who's a nephew of the UCC legend of the same name.
Yeah, Ray Delaney is a past pupil of mine.
Really?
Yeah, Blackrock.
Ah, right. So all sorts of connections there with the past.
Yes, indeed.
And the present. Now a chance here for UCC to go 2 up. Has he got that?
He has. He has indeed.
Yeah, good score. I'm just trying to pick out the name. He's still over on that far side there. I'm not sure.
It could have been Jamie Ormond.
You might be right. I'll follow the play here.
He took the freeze on that side earlier anyway.
Yeah, but UCC trying to get back, and they find themselves 2 points down. This is a good run. And it's gone astray, though. That's going to be easily cleared for UL. Or is it? Yes, he get it to tag body.
Nice ball.
Now they're going for that long ball. They're going to be looking for the likes of Ormond. In fact, that just didn't quite reach him because it was intercepted by Timmy Kelly. That was good work by him.
Dara McCarthy was lucky there on that occasion, maybe, that the referee isn't calling him over. But as it came down, beautiful touch by the 4 for UCC for Timmy Kelly.
Timmy Kelly, yeah. And then that's...
it wasn't Dara McCarthy, I think. It was the man in the white helmet, I think. There are 2 white helmets. It could be either Jamie Ormond or McCarthy. Well, it doesn't matter. The referee is taking no action, or no further action anyway, bar than giving the free to UCC.
And O'Brien sends it down the right hand side. It's gone over the line.
UL ball.
Game played in a good spirit. I don't see any animosity, even though we've had a yellow or 2 and there was that cynical challenge, but there was no reaction there either. These lads, I'm sure they all know each other from schools and inter-county games over the last number of years, and they respect each other, I think, which is good to see.
Yeah, they've all come through the ranks in the various counties and development squads and whatever, and they're bumping into each other on Saturdays for the last 4 years. This one coming down again, UCC had a chance to get it away.
We've had a correction coming in the YouTube live chat, which we always welcome. We don't get everything right, but the free taker's Darren McCarthy. for UL actually. So thanks
Thank
for
you.
pointing that out. Exactly, yeah. Thank you. So Darren McCarthy's the man on the freeze from Toomevara.
Yes.
And this is Adam O'Sullivan coming over to take this one. So we've one sub on so far, Liam.
Yes,
and
Ben O'Sullivan.
Ben O'Sullivan it is, yeah. And he is in for Gleeson as we watch Adam O'Sullivan.
That's a great cut.
Oh my goodness, is that going over?
No, a bit
Not
short,
quite,
a
it's
bit
just
short. Great
over
cut.
to the right.
Yeah, great connection. Got right under it. Unfortunately for UCC, it eventually ends up harmlessly trickling out over the end line. Referee blows for half time.
Well, that flew, didn't it?
Absolutely. 2 points between the sides. That was the most that UL led at any stage in this game. UCC were 4 points up at one stage. The goal brought it back. The goal from Martin Murphy was a very important score, I think, because it settled.
There it is again. This is the first goal, rather.
Yeah.
And I'd caught everybody by surprise and just in under the bar. And at the other end, this is the goal you were talking about.
This is it. And
Murphy
breaks his way and gets in beyond, and that's great hurling, the way he was able to.
Well, it was not brilliant the way he got up in the air. I mean, there was two men hanging off him. The goalkeeper's coming out. He needed the height to get that in, but he got up a great height there. That was great versatility there.
He did indeed, and he did well to step inside Billy O'Connell, the fullback, and really buried it into the back of the net. And at that stage, UL needed it because I think it's fair to say that UCC had the better of things up to then, but apart from the goal, it also steadied UL and gave them that bit of confidence to drive on, and they're 2 points up. And when they get the ball into that full forward line, Jamie Ormond, Martin Murphy and Darragh McCarthy, the free taker, let me remind you, that they are able to score for UL.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of the first half. We'll be back in a few minutes. We'll try and see if we can improve the connection here. I gather some people are having a little bit of trouble. There is a poor connection here in Mallow. We'll try and improve that during half time. We'll be back for the start of the second half. Second half underway, just a few seconds. And it's already a free given to UL, who have that 2-point lead from the first half. And this is Dara McCarthy, who we have clarified is the free taker, and he's under this and are on this, and we are right behind it with our camera view here in Mallow. And Liam Weir is with me on co-commentary. This should be easy for a player of his quality. Interesting style, the way he goes on straight there as well, and then goes round it.
He didn't have a whole lot to spare, but it was well inside the post, and that's a 3-point lead, the biggest it has been at any stage so far for UL, and that'll settle them into the second half. Cork will have to get stuck back into it again.
UCC led by 4 early on the first half, largely thanks to the big number 14 there, who's trying to get to it here again and has had a few contributions there. And that's a lovely spin and turn away by Adam O'Sullivan, and he's given it to Fairland. And can Dara Fairland score? He should from there, and that's a good response. And to me, the hard work was done there by Ed McDermott. The finish applied by Fairland, and that's back to 2, and that's better for UCC.
Yeah, and I thought that maybe Ed McDermott was being moved out the field by UCC in a kind of a tactical switch. No, he's not. And he's still being followed by Sean Casey. Now
around the middle, both teams getting tore in here. I thought it was a little bit slow in the first half at times. I was saying they were actually respecting each other, but now the respect seems to have gone out a bit. I think they've had a bit of a talking to and said, would you get out there and win this match? It's worth winning. And it is the Electric Ireland Freshers 1 Hurling League final, and there's a good history here. UCC with a great history in the sort of up to about 2015, and then UL took over. So it's a battle of the two teams who have dominated this competition certainly over the last couple of decades, and they're both up in their game. I see the referee, by the way, off camera over to the left doing some helicopter spins with his arms. He's trying to keep warm. And it is a very, very cold night here, as you would expect. It usually is for this final at the end of November. Now that is well out the field, just inside the half. Can he get? And I think he might have the range, but not the accuracy. It's just gone to the right. Remains 112 to 110. The goalkeeper, Daniel O'Connell, a Cork man. Will we call him the Liberator? From tell me it again. Dromina. Got that wrong. From near Newton Shandrum. He pucks that one out. He's the only Cork man playing in the starting 15. There's been one sub so far. It's a Waterford man who came in, Ben O'Sullivan, number 27, came in after about 20 minutes for UL. There's a good effort from the sideline. Has he got that? Might have gone too far to the left, and it has. 2 wides in a row for UCC. They'll need to settle that one down a little bit. O'Connell is very quick this time because he spots a teammate right around the middle in a pocket of space and found him beautifully, and because of that they have possession and they play it low into the forwards. UL looking to get McCarthy, but it's spilled through, and instead that is Shane Murnan. He's from St Collins, but now he's in trouble. Lead, or rather possession, changing hands a lot. Tough tackle came in there on Ormond, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. I saw the happiness from the UL bench down here in front of us, because they know how important it is for their boys to get stuck in, make it difficult for UCC to get out of defence. That's exactly what they did. Sean Murnan there was slightly isolated, 2 boys from UL around him, and an easy chance here now for Dara McCarthy.
Yeah, managers love it when they see forwards tackling back and winning a free, and saves the defenders having to do it further up the pitch. Defend from the front, I think, is the mantra.
Yes, indeed, and a 3-point lead again, and 3 points is handy because, well, even a goal and you're not out of it.
Fiona O'Brien pucked that one out over to the far side from the stand. Matt O'Riordan has it, and he lays it back, and then that one's just launched into space, and it's diagonal, which is always a tricky one for defenders, but good for forwards to run onto. He did run onto it, but he had a man running through the back of him as well, and John Wigington Barrett, and he's going to get us free, and this should be a point for them, but it came from good work from the captain, Matt O'Riordan, for UCC, and they'll get it back now to a 2-point game, you'd imagine.
Yes, it was a great diagonal ball, as you say, and Jerome gets it into the space, gives a chance to the man with legs, and then if you just slow down coming into that ball, you are going to catch the cornerback 9 times out of 10.
It was the corner forward, John Wigington Barrett, who won it. The other corner forward, Ross O'Sullivan, now from Napirsig in Cork. And he indeed drills it over. 1:13 plays 1:11. 5 minutes into the second half. And O'Connell's always quick to take these puck outs, and he's looking to see where he can go with it. He comes down the stand side, and that's batted down by Shane Murnan. And are UCC going to get possession? They don't. That was good play instead by Owen McMahon. And it's going to be a free for UL for the foul on Sean Casey.
Yeah, Sean Casey, I think, knows that if he gets possession first, that Ed McDermott's tendency is to foul him.
That's
then
a good point, actually.
You know, and Ed would want to be careful. James Stevens man, of course.
He sort of drew the free. That was clever. Yeah, and the goalkeeper's come out to take this one, and it's Daniel O'Connell, as I say, the only Cork man in the starting 15. Is he going to get a score to make up for that goal in the first half early on, which UCC got, which I just put up in the Twitter feed there, by the way, if you want to have a look at it. That is very, very high into the dark sky, but has it got the accuracy? No, just to the right, wasn't far off.
Unlucky. Good attempt there by the Dromina goalkeeper. He was just outside his own 45-metre line, and that one trailing just off to the left.
And the other goalkeeper, O'Brien, has sent that one fast and deep into the other half, but it's spilled off one or two hands. Cleared up now by Sean Casey for UL to McMahon, and they're working it through the lines, and they get it as far as Jamie Moylan. He might need a bit of help here. No, he spins right and then he spins left, and they're all following him. They can't catch him. Off goes Moylan from Cratloe, and he's still going. And he's laid it off, and they could get a goal out of this. Should get a goal, and they do. Well, obviously that was all about Moylan. What a player he is. He scored that one. Well, he didn't score that one. He made that one. Brilliant play.
A great one, a great run, won the ball out in the centre of the field and went through and put it into the back of the net. I don't know who scored it. Was it Darren McCarthy who was in the right spot, or was it Jamie Ormond? I think it was the man in the white helmet, but definitely it was Jamie Ormond's. It was a marvellous goal, marvellous run. There were three people trailing him as he cut down the centre, and then he had the sense to lay it off. Goalkeeper came out, but Fionn O'Brien couldn't get his body in front of it, couldn't make that intervention, and that is a big lead now. All of a sudden it's 213 to 111, 5 points as College go down the other side of the field, getting it down there, and it's number 5 Shane Moran there for UL.
UCC trying to get back into this game. That's good play by Ed McDermott, trying to just pass it through there and going for it again, but UL have managed to turn it over.
Great
Their
swarm.
tails are up at the minute. They play it down into the corner. It's a one-on-one on there. Timmy Kelly has his hands full, and he has his hands all over the forward as well. Jamie Ormond, I think that is now, is getting possession, and they're all over him as well, but no free given. And it's gone loose, and Peter O'Shea involved there, number 7 for UCC, and he's thrashing his hurler around there everywhere, and eventually comes out with a slither as well. That's the sort of play that they need. Andy drives that one diagonally over towards the right corner. That's great play by him, but the UCC forwards a little bit slow.
Great
there
anticipation
to come
by
out.
the UL
they
boys.
come out a little bit slow there, and it's UL able to get it up the other end, but it's gone right through, and he's played that back to his goalkeeper. Thought he was going to play it a little bit hard there, but over him, but he hasn't. And UCC now, I think that's Fairland all the way back. He likes to go deep, and then they hit that long ball right up there to Ross O'Sullivan in the corner. Well, they're now 5 points down, and they need something, and that's going to be a free out. He's actually given that free for UL. What happened there? Let's have another look at it, maybe in the replay. What did you see, Liam?
I didn't see anything, but he may have caught him by the hand when he was trying to get around him and brought the two of them down. The referee was nearer to it, but the previous ball I came across you very suddenly there, but it was great anticipation by the cornerback from UL, by I think it's Adam O'Sullivan over in that corner, and he had it read. He knew where that ball was going before it touched down.
This one's gone right down the throat of the UCC defence. UL and those familiar now white jerseys, familiar to this final. They've been in it so often, and in the Fresher Championship final as well. Over the last 10 years they have been the standout team. This is Billy O'Connell, the fullback for UCC, trying to clear his lines, but UCC, as the defenders here, are also under pressure at the minute and just struggling to get a foothold in this game. UL have really upped things since half-time, and they've got it back again as well. And there's that brilliant tackling by the forwards, defending from the front, and it's ended with a super score by Cahill English. Tip minor on 22 and 23 from Father Sheehy's, a brother of Dara, and that's a fine score, and they're really motoring well in the second half.
As you said, that is the joy of the bench and the sideline. Love to see that. Love to see the forwards battling and doing the work of defenders in the other side of the field and getting the point and getting the reward.
And it means a 6-point lead now. That's the biggest lead they have had. If you remember, it was 4 points up to UCC early on. So it's a 10-point turnaround. And they've got it up to Jamie Ormond again. What a super player he is. A Tip minor captain in 2023. And he gets it again. And he puts that one high off his left side. But it's gone to the right and wide this time. But it's all UL at the minute. 10 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, 20 minutes left. I think College will need a score or two or a goal very, very soon to get back into this game.
Yeah, they need to do something. Maybe a couple of subs. And in fact, they're sending one in now, Liam, because they are replacing Daniel Scully. And they have sent in, what number is that? Is it 19 or 29?
It seems there's a 9 at the end of it, I think.
Yeah.
And that was... When he turns, we'll get him. I'll keep an eye on him while you watch the play. It's 19.
It's 29. No, it's 29.
29.
It is 29 as the ball goes over towards the UCC dugout. Furland is there and he picks it up well and he is speedy. And it's gone over the line though, but they do. Maybe it was knocked over by the UL man, must have been.
What did I say again there? Sean O'Neill from Ballincollig. Sean O'Neill from Ballincollig.
Off his left hand side, can he get this over? They need this to go over, as you say, Liam, but it's not gone over. Close, but no score. 12 minutes into the second half, and O'Connell again very quick. He wants to get the pressure back on UCC. Brilliantly taken by Marty Murphy, and the finish did not match the catch.
That indeed, but big Marty Murphy, of course, from the same club as big Walter Walsh of Kilkenny.
And that's Shane Murnan. Again, the direct one. UCC have tended to do that in the second half, whether it's by design or by the pressure from UL, but they've tried to go direct and it hasn't been working too well so far. UL's defence has been very much at it in the second half. Can the sub now who came on there, the man from Ballincollig, O'Neill. Nope, UL get it again. Off they come again. They have a 6-point lead and have had now for a few minutes. This is the sub who came on in the first half, Ben O'Sullivan from Lismore in Waterford, but he is dispossessed. And UCC might get their score now. Adam O'Sullivan from Ballinhassig. He got the goal early on, remember, but he runs into trouble and has lost possession. That happens so often in the second half. UL just have the measure of them at the minute. They've been tackling in packs all over the field, and now they get it up towards their dangerous forwards, and it runs all the way through, and it's picked up by Dara McCarthy. What can he do? He's got a bit of space now, but he chooses just to come back out to his midfielder, English, and an easy finish in the end for him. That was all too easy.
Great play by Dara McCarthy. He was inside in the corner. He looked around. There was a man out on the wing. He didn't give it. He went across the centre, picked out English, and English happy to put it over the bar at 2:15 to 1:11. That's 7 points between the sides. And one thing I have noticed, Jerome, as the second half is growing, it seems that UL are a bigger side physically. They seem to have an advantage in the physicality stakes, and that is going to be crucial before the end of this game. They're winning the tussles at midfield. They're winning the little scrummages. It's white jersey coming out with the ball usually, and that's what happens. Here we see the other ball won independently high, and that one went over the bar as well. So referee tending to work off camera over on the far side of the field, attending, I think.
It's the number 11, Dara Furland, who seems to be going off, and they don't want him to come off because he's been their best forward, I think.
I think once you're required attention, you have to come off before you come back on again.
Yeah, so he's just temporarily gone off, yes, but they don't need to be down to 14.
No, they certainly don't. When we're nearly halfway through the second half, and they're 7 points adrift, having, as you say, been leading by 4 at one stage.
Puck out comes down in front of us, brilliantly taken again there by Owen McMahon. It looked like his right hand was being pulled by his opponent, the sub, and he still managed to catch it with his left as he sort of spun round. Look at it again there, he still caught it. That was fabulous.
And as that ball dropped, you could see his strength, his brute strength was able to get him away from the man who was pulling him back. Great bit of play from the man from Durham Bearfield.
Coming up to the 3-quarter mark then, and UL have really turned on the speed since half time. The burners have gone on, and this is McCarthy coming out from Tumivara, so we're going to get a good view of this. I was told he was a super talent, and we're getting to see that tonight, and that's one of the beauties of this higher education GAA YouTube live stream. We're getting to see and showcase the talent of these young lads, and he's pinged that one, but it's just gone. Is it over? It is, of course, over. After the build-up, he delivered.
Oh, ye of little faith, Jerome. Oh, ye of little faith.
That's just my eyesight. But yeah, great score.
Absolutely.
He's been good without being spectacular.
8 points. It's growing. It's growing, and
UL another change there, is there?
And UL are growing in confidence as well.
No, UCC making another change. Wigington Barrett has gone off, and he was dangerous in the first half, but he's gone off. I'll tell you who's come on for him in a minute, but let's follow the play because Timmy Kelly is getting it to tag Sheehan. And Sheehan has been pursued there by English, but still gets it away, and that's a dangerous looking one, but it's more in hope than anything else, and it's well defended. Well, you talked about the physicality, Liam. You're absolutely right, and the brute strength, and there was an example there, and they're going to clear their lines again, and John Cahill, number 2, doing well there for them, but to me that was all about the fullback there, Sean Casey.
Absolutely. And you know, I think UCC have put Fairland in full forward on him now, and have moved Ed McDermott out the field a bit to try and spice things up or freshen things up down the spine of the forward line. But that time, must say that Sean Casey, the man from Bruff, did well. Bruff and gruff and tough
and rough,
and did his job to perfection.
The sub has come on, by the way, for UCC now. 23, Jaden Casey. He's from Youghal.
Oh, that's right.
He's in the forwards as well, and it's no surprise they've been making forwards up in that, or changes up in the forwards there. This is McCarthy again over this one, and that style here, very straight on, takes a little move to the left and then ping. Well, it certainly works.
It certainly does. And maybe to add to the point you were making earlier there about the standard of the hurlers in this competition, Jaden Casey only came in as a sub. He spent 2 years with the Cork minor, and this year he was on the Cork under-20 team as well, and can only get his place as a sub on the freshers. But that's why UL are so good, and they are turning the screw slowly now.
Is that another one? No, that one's gone wide from English, but it's still 217 to 111. It seems an awful long time since UCC got a score. I think they had 1-9 at half time, so they've only scored 2 points in the second half, and it was 2 in it at half time. And look, they just can't get going. Nothing's working for them at the minute.
Of course, we must remember too that they are still very young men, and the heads are inclined to drop when things aren't going right.
Well, UL have just put on the burners, and this guy's been terrific. Diarmuid Stritch, he's got some super scores throughout the game, and he's got another one.
It's another one for the scrapbook as well. Great score off his left from distance, high and over the bar, and all of a sudden it seems curtains for UCC with what? We only have about 12 minutes left.
And it's a 10-point game. How did that happen? From 2 at half time. And UL going again. They're really enjoying themselves out there now, and they're getting it forward, and there's one-on-ones in there, and the UL forwards, well, he was able to just turn there, Marty Murphy, and just pick it off so easily.
Yes, indeed. 2:19 now, 25 to 14. As I said, College needed a few scores quickly a while ago. I think they need a few goals now even to make the score a bit respectable.
Yeah, and the ball's gone in there, as I said before. It's more in hope than anything else. They're just putting it in there and hoping to get something, but it's coming out 9 times out of 10. And this now is Fintan Fitzgerald for UL, and he gives it into Stritch, and as you say, he's been good, and Stritch is stretching his legs now, and he's maybe got a score, has he? And he has. It's another one that's 2 in a row from him. He is really a super talent, the man from Clonlara.
Stritch is stretching his legs. He's also stretching the lead as well, because it's gone out to 1 goal and 9 points, 4 clear goals between the sides.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming at half time. We thought UCC were right in this game, but UL have just turned up the tempo, and this is one of the UCC subs now, and they're just in a hurry all the time, so they're tending not to go short. They're just trying to go for the ball to get it straight in there as quickly as possible and hope that the likes of Fairland can do it, but he's managed only to put that way across the far side to O'Sullivan. Now O'Sullivan has a chance here if he can nip inside here, and he gets a shot away, but it's well saved by Daniel O'Connell, the Cork man, doing well there and redeeming himself for the first half there, because that was a good effort. Now it was pretty much straight at him, but still of course had to be saved, and was well saved, but better from UCC, and they try to get it Alex Cass, but sometimes things just don't go for you in games, and they just bounce the wrong way and bounce off you, and that's what's happening at the minute. And it's partly because of the pressure from UL, and Body goes and he doesn't get a score.
No, but I think that the switch that UCC made by switching the centre forward and the full forward, moving Ferland in, moving McDermott out, that really hasn't worked. And then what happened is that the balls that were coming in the second half are high balls that would have suited McDermott, and Ferland is giving away size inside to Sean Casey, the UL fullback, and that is not working for UCC. And at 26-14, 4 goals between the sides. UCC need goals. They need something very, very quickly, but I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think UL are going to take the foot off the gas.
And the star man has come off, Dara McCarthy, getting a round of applause there, replaced by number 21, Michael Cahill from J.K. Brackens in Tipperary, or maybe they call him Cahill around that part of the world. But he is on now and replaced McCarthy, who has done his bit, the Tipperary man as well, of course.
Yes, that one goes in there. Ferland battling inside with Adam O'Sullivan, the Limerick Adam O'Sullivan, or should I say the Kilkenny Adam O'Sullivan from John Locke's, and eventually all came to nothing for UCC. And they look back and they'll say, we've played 21 minutes in the second half, 2 points, not enough. Not enough if you want to be in the reckoning at the end.
You were talking about the strength and depth here and the players coming off the bench. Colin Coonahan on the live chat says this Michael Cahill coming on is some hurler. And of course they are. They're all good players. It's the selection of the best young players around the place. So we see another sub coming on. They're sort of coming on every other minute now. And the fullback for UCC has gone off, Billy O'Connell. Don't see who's come on for him, but yeah. They are trying to stop the rot, UCC, but it's not working. And there's another point. McCarthy went off, but instead Jamie Orman took up the free taking duties there and put that straight over the bar. That's
a good score, another good score for UL. And I must say that whereas UCC have been outclassed in the second half, they're being beaten by a brilliant team. Must be said that UL
hold on. They might get a
go.
goal here, though. They've got a chance. A few of their subs are combining here. Has he got the way through? Nope. And it's gone over the bar. I don't know how it quite got over the bar. Let's look at it again here on the replay, Liam, and see what happened. They all converged on him. Oh, it was a goalkeeper.
Well done. Keeper did well.
Yeah, goalkeeper got a flick to that one and put it over the bar, and they needed that one to go in the net, but at least it's a point for UCC.
Could we call it an OP? An own point?
Oh, maybe it was, yeah, we don't get too many of them. There's another sub going on. Yeah. 23 on now for UL, and you know what? The game's done and dusted for them, obviously, now, and they're just thinking, put them on. It's Oisin Fitzgerald, which is an interesting one. He's from St. Catherine's in Cork, which is just round the corner from here, isn't it?
It isn't too far away at all, over in Ballino, the club of Dennis Walsh, the great Cork defender.
So can he do something for UCC? Ross O'Sullivan there now. Such promise early on for UCC, and they're trying to win this for the first time in 8 years. Well, it's going to be 9 years at least before they win it, I think, the way these things are going, because UL are putting on a display here. 221 to 112. That's some scoring, a 12-point lead, and another UCC sub coming on. Go on ahead.
And even though there hasn't been that there is no wind here, the whole of the second half has been played outside the UL 65, and for the most part in the UCC half of the field. They certainly came on from half back, driving on to midfield, and have taken over this game in the second half.
UCC sub again, Robert Troy from Newton Chandram is on. So they've made quite a lot of substitutions. I think they've more or less resigned themselves to the fact that the game is up and they're sending lots of boys on. But here's Stritch again, and he has a lovely burst of pace. He just presses on the accelerator and away he goes, and now Body number 10 gives it back to Stretch. He put one over off his left side, a beauty in the first half, and there's one off his right this time.
Oh yeah, great score.
We're seeing all the skills.
Yeah, he created the opportunity, he gave the pass unselfishly, he got the return, and he made the umpire work.
And really the UCC forwards haven't really had any joy in this half at all. The UL defenders have been excellent. Anytime it's gone up there, it's come back again, and then the forwards for UL have made hay, and this is Fintan Fitzgerald, and look, the support always there, and Jamie Ormond again and puts a lovely ball in. Is he going to finish in style? No, that one was saved by the goalkeeper, Fionn O'Brien, but could have been another goal. Instead it's a point. But the way they're playing, they're just running through and enjoying themselves there now, UL.
1, 2, 3 passes, created the opening. He did the right thing, but we'll credit Fionn O'Brien on this occasion. A good save from him. Of course, the goalkeeper for UL is from Cork, and the goalkeeper for UCC is from Limerick.
Yes.
Wouldn't they have stayed in their own counties? It'd be much easier. We'd have
Is it Finn or Fionn? I thought it was
Fionn.
Fionn. Yeah, it is.
Fionn.
Yeah. He's from a place called Brewery, is it?
Brewery,
which is near the Cork border.
It is just the other side of Charleville.
Yeah.
Between Charleville and Crewe.
You know, UL have been so good. They're so strong at this level, and you know, it's obviously the foundation for their Fitzgibbon Cup successes as well. I mean, 2 years ago we saw what was described as the best Fresher team ever. They put on an incredible display in the championship final, and then you know there was a surprise defeat though last year. Galway beat them in the final, but you know their production line is there for UL, and you can see that tonight, as you said, not just the 15 but the other players coming as well, and the players seem to really enjoy it, and it keeps them ticking over as well, and it is that nice gateway as well to the Fitzgibbon team. You're only allowed to play, you're not allowed to play Fitzgibbon if you're a fresher, so they get to play. It's only them playing at this level, which I think is terrific as well, and lends itself to this being a great competition.
Yes, and you have to say that Limerick is an oasis of hurling at the moment. Apart from UL, you also have Mary I, who are a force to be reckoned with, whether it is at Fitzgibbon or in the Freshers competition. And I suppose we'll probably have to mention the inter-county team as well. That really things are going very well hurling.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence, is it? You know, the success the last 10 years have been a fabulous contribution, isn't it, from the colleges?
Yes, indeed. And good work done at underage level, which has contributed to the colleges as well.
Yeah. Chance for UCC to get a score here, but this game is petering out a little bit, I have to admit. We were hoping for a grandstand finish like we did last year, but it's not going to happen unless you see UCC do something incredibly dramatic. That's McDermott. He's got it.
Outside.
I thought you were shouting there going in. I thought I'd missed something there, but no, watch it again here. It's McDermott again, and he goes, well, just go low. Let's just try it. Oh, it was a great effort.
It was a great effort.
It was a great effort.
Good shot.
Just inside the post would have been nice.
Took the paint off the outside of it.
Yeah. Cleared now by O'Connell, right in this right side, but too far down the right side. It's gone over, and I see more subs being lined up to come on, and why not? It's a cold night. Send them on. So we've ended up with maybe a dozen or more subs have come into the play, and there'll be a few more in the last couple of minutes as well. And by the way, we will stay on to see the presentation of the cup and also the Player of the Match award, and we'll come to that in a minute. That's a bit of warning for you, Liam. We'll come to that in a second. This is Stritch again. And look at this lovely play. You know the way I was saying that UCC, they can't really string anything together. It's not working. UL are doing really nice things out there, and even when they don't mean it seems to come off. It's just the way it's gone. They're so much in command at the minute.
Yes, indeed. Well, they can afford to play out time now at this stage. They lead by 223 to 112. What's that? 111. Sure.
I'll let you work that out because I'm following the subs.
That's 14.
18 Sean Walsh from Abbeyside and Waterford has just come on for you. Oh, no, that's the wrong team I'm looking at. Sorry, let me look at that. It's Simon
Duff.
Sean Duff from Mungret and Limerick has come on, and number 20 Darren Neville from Cratloe. He is on for UL as well. It's kind of hard to keep track of so many subs that are on now.
Jamie Ormond is on the sideline as well now as they see out the time. There is no doubt but that the Freshers' Cup is going to go to Limerick, even though it's college on the attack, racing down the far side.
Yeah, that's good speed and should get a score out of it as well, and that was better. But in the second half, they have only scored 4 points, and that has been the sorry tale for them. It's 223 now to 113. 13 points in it again.
Yes, indeed. And really, this second half performance from UL has blown UCC away completely. And they're on the attack. I think this 20 is in there now. He's in as well. Darren Neville from Cratloe.
Yep. And that one's going to drop into the goalkeeper's arms rather easily for him. 1 minute of normal time to go. And as we watch the play develop in there, and UL maybe going to get another score. No. this time UCC's defence prevails with a couple of the subs doing really well and getting up to another of the subs. There's just so many of them, and another one. Yeah, they've changed so many of their team, and why not, as I said. Now, is that McDermott out there, though? Is he still out there? I think he is. And eventually UCC will
continue
persist. 23.
23 is Jaden Casey.
Oh, brilliant run by him. We were told he was good. You told me he was good, and he lays it off as well. But UL's defence has been so solid in this second half, and they have conceded only their 5th point in that second half.
Sean O'Neill from Ballincollig with that one, I think. 29. But certainly this little spurt at the end from UCC is too little too late. We're gone into extra time at this stage. The better team were the team that performed for the duration of the second half.
Yeah, it was really that first quarter in the second half when they took them apart and built up a lead. The last 15 we've kind of been playing it out, and UCC have been trying to get some sort of play together, but they haven't, and now with so many subs on, that's pretty much impossible. But at least they're coming forward in individual bursts and individual
Shane Irwin,
talent and
Robbie Wall,
efforts. Yeah, and they got a goal out of it as well. Well, that's a consolation, but it was a good one.
It was great movement from Shane Irwin. Started that movement, and he got a nice bit of help as well from from Dermot Wall, and then back into the back of the net. A good score. It's for the examiner really. It is only just tidying up the scoreboard at this stage at 2:23 to 2:14, but still UCC did not give up, even though things were going wrong for them. I thought their heads fell a bit in the second third of the second half, when things were going wrong, but they're finishing strongly.
Yeah, you have to give them credit for that, but it's only really changing the scoreboard, making it look a little bit better. And is that another score for UL? It is another score for them. And was it the centre half back? Was it? It was Owen Ling, the captain. Well, that's appropriate because he's going to get his hands in the cup in a minute, and he's come forward and got a score just to rule out a little bit of that goal. But UCC come again, and it's Harry Boyle, Kilkenny man number 2. And is that going to get over the bar as well? Late flurry of scores at the end, but that one's gone to the left and it's gone wide. Referee looks at his watch, and I think that is going to be just about it. But as I say, stay with us. We will have the presentations afterwards, and the referee took another look and it now blows the final whistle, and it's UL again. The Masters these days beating the past Masters of the Freshers Hurling League and the champions for 2024 in the Electric Ireland Fresher 1 Hurling League, as we see the manager Dave Clohessy down there. He was the birthday boy last year when they won this, by the way, so I guess he must be close to the birthday again, and it's more celebrations for him because UL have won it again, and they've won it well this year. They have beaten UCC here, and we will stay, as I say, for the presentation of the cup and the player of the match. Liam, who would be your contenders maybe on both sides throughout the game, and maybe who would you think?
Well, I suppose at the beginning of the game we thought that maybe the full forward line of UCC were going to be very influential. John Wigington Barrett, Ed McDermott and Ross O'Sullivan. Matt O'Leary in the middle of the field had a good game also for UCC. But on the UL side, I suppose Jamie Moylan and Cathal English, when things were not going well for UL, kept them in the game, and then they were able to make it easy for their full forward line. Jamie Ormond in one corner, Dara McCarthy, who was super, in the other corner, and Big Martin Murphy at the edge of the square. They're all in contention for the man of the match. So obviously, with a performance like that, when you win by 10 points, 224 to 214, you would expect the man of the match, or Lech na Himmerha, to come from the winners. And on this occasion, I think that the man who led them when they needed scores most was Martin Murphy, the full forward, and I would have him as my man of the match.
Yeah, well, the goal that he got on when they were behind, he was so versatile and strong, and it sort of brought them right back into the game when UCC were getting up on them, and it was an important score at that stage. When you look at it now, you sort of think, okay, it maybe wasn't that big a lead and wasn't that important, but at that time of the game it seemed important when he got that goal, so you're right.
And he was also a target for them when things were tight, and he won his own ball independently, as well as showing great skill for that first goal. Dara McCarthy very near to him as well. He was accurate all night. He created great space as well. But Martin just probably shaded it on this occasion. But I'm sure they'll celebrate regardless of who's going to get the Man of the Match award.
Marty started the year very well, by the way. He won an All-Ireland Junior in January this year with his club.
Yep. as I said in commentary, he's a club mate of Walter Walsh, and I'm telling you, whatever is in the air down there in Tullahur, Rosmercon, they're well able to grow big men. He used his size at the edge of the small square to perfection, as Wally did over the years for Kilkenny as well. But really and truly, it was a team performance from UL that brought them home safely and easily in the end. UCC were giving it away size-wise, and they probably did run out of steam and run out of a bit of puff in the second half.
Yeah, to me it was UL's defence in the first 15 minutes. They won every ball that came in, and it just broke the hearts of the UCC forwards and kind of wore them down, I think. And, you've got to give credit back there. Sean Casey at fullback was very good, but he had great support all around him there. Owen McMahon at 5, and they made a change in the first half, the UL management, by the way, and we have to give them credit for doing that after 20 minutes. That was a brave one, Dave Clohessy, Dave Foley, Cian Hederman, Patsy Keys, Hugh Dunn there in the management. They've been here, done that the last few years with UL, and they made the big calls, and it worked for them.
They did, and they brought in the man from Lismore instead of Conor Gleeson. I don't know if Conor was half injured or whether they were worried about him having received a yellow card, but the yellow card was very important when we look back at it at that time. If UCC had got another goal, they could have been, they could be slipping away.
Now, the speeches are about to be made because Jim McAvoy is down there. You see him in the shot there with the captain, Owen Ling. So I'm going to grab a microphone and go down and try and see if I can hear what they're saying here. They're about to do that as the players converge. So I'm going to leave you, Liam, for a minute, and I will go down the stairs to get that for you, sir.
There we go. We can see as we're waiting for Jim to present the cup to Owen Ling, the centre half back and captain of the UL side. Of course, same club as the great Eddie Kerr. The Roar in a Stieg.
Well, apologies there. We seem to have had a few problems with the audio there, but we're now watching Adam O'Sullivan get his photograph taken there for posterity. And as Jim McAvoy was saying in his speech there, these boys will remember in 20 or 30 years' time this day, and they'll look back and they'll still be friends with the people that they have won this with tonight. Final thoughts from you, Liam Weir?
Well, I must say that I think that the story I was getting from Cork today was that this team were coming, and that there was something about them. They thought that they were going to do it, but I've no doubt at all that they met a superior force here. UL, bigger, stronger, and equally as skillful as them, and they were able to transfer, I think, that physical dominance onto the scoreboard. I mean, it's bitter cold here in Mallow. There is no wind, I know, but it's the end of November to score 224, and I suppose even to tell you how good UCC were, they scored 214 as well. That it was a game of high standards, good play, but certainly the score taking of UL was the difference between the sides, and the way they were able to set up them scores and use their physical dominance to win independent ball. They'll be happy. 4 in a row, not bad at all.
Owen Ling there, by the way, I gather you didn't quite hear what he said. He was telling me that, yeah, they were surprised by the goal. It dipped at the last minute and they didn't expect that. But Marty Murphy, he said he's been doing that for years. That's the kind of thing he does, getting the goal back at the other end. But I also pointed to the way that they came out in the second half and playing through the lines and the strength of their defence. As you mentioned, their physicality. It just wore UCC down, and they were just much stronger in the end. And they really have, just finally as we end the stream, become the team. And now I suppose all the young lads want to go to UL, and that's the problem for other colleges. It's hard to see the likes of UCC bridging that gap, and it is a gap now.
Well, it is, but the only thing is that the Freshers is really only 1 year of a snapshot. It doesn't always transfer to Fitzgibbon, that because you're doing well in Freshers, because when you're picking a Fitzgibbon team afterwards, you have maybe a spread of 3 or 4 years, so you can be picking up players here and there along the way as well. But certainly it's a great base for any club or any college to be building their Fitzgibbon team on. And you know, once you give students the habit of winning together, they grow in confidence, and they grow in ability, and they grow in success.
Okay, we've got to leave it there. My thanks to Liam Ware and the rest of the team here in Mallow. We have another stream tomorrow night, and it's UL again in the football against UCD. Up at UCD, the Fresher football final in the Electric Ireland competitions. We'll have that one on a live stream tomorrow night, and it will be, as you see on the screen there, hashtag First Class Rivals. We hope you've enjoyed it. From us all in Mallow and County Cork, it's goodbye.